Every year, the demon demands that humans offer up a young maiden as a sacrifice, or else he will carry out a massacre. On the night of the sacrifice, the demon reveals his true form and devours the maiden alive. Annie, the 99th sacrifice, is delivered to the demon. The Beast King's messenger deems this sacrifice too poor, suggesting that the Beast King should simply tear her to pieces and send her back to the humans, demanding a new sacrifice. However, Annie disagrees. Although she only weighs 80 pounds, she still has a bit of flesh on her, and she voluntarily requests that the Beast King eat her. The messenger is furious. How dare a poor sacrifice give orders to the Beast King? But the Beast King roars and sends the messenger away. Never has there been such a fool willing to die so willingly, but the Beast King, intrigued, tells her that if she begs for mercy, he will make it quick. However, Annie clutches his paw and says, "You're so cute." The Beast King is puzzled. Is this girl really that stupid? But it turns out that Annie knows, even if she survives, she will never have a good life. It's better to fulfill her mission. The Beast King is curious about this unusual sacrifice, and before the sacrifice night arrives, he allows Annie to stay with him temporarily, though he restricts her freedom. Yet Annie feels no fear. When she was very young, she accidentally read in an ancient book that her name meant sacrifice. She had wanted to ask her parents about it, but overheard a conversation between them. It turns out that her adoptive parents had taken her in to replace their own biological daughter as the sacrifice. Compared to the cold gaze of her adoptive parents, Annie saw a touch of warmth in the Beast King's eyes, which made her feel less afraid. The Beast King even sympathizes with her situation and decides to let Annie experience the beauty of life before her death. One day, when the Beast King goes to inspect the borders, Annie takes the opportunity to escape. She discovers a sea of flowers and wants to transplant them to the palace. The Beast King tells her that only in this place does the miasma thin enough for flowers to bloom, and even if brought back, they would wilt quickly. Nevertheless, he agrees to her request, though he doesn't understand why humans like something that wilts so easily. But when the Beast King looks up, Annie has already placed a flower crown on his head. Enraged, the Beast King throws the crown off, yet he finds himself gradually warming to her. He even allows Annie to sleep on his tail. The night of the sacrifice draws near, and Annie is given a new gown by the servants. She is overjoyed, feeling like a bride. The Prime Minister leads her down long steps and locks her into a room marked with a magical array. In the darkness, a pair of eyes suddenly appear, and a lizard man strikes Annie down, intending to take the Beast King's place by completing the sacrifice and then seizing power. He believes the Beast King, who blurs the line between humans and monsters, is unworthy of his title. Just as the lizard man strikes with a blade, a strange man intervenes, blocking the sword. He takes the short sword and forces the lizard man to flee. Annie guesses this man must be the Beast King. The man gestures toward a large door, instructing Annie to escape through it. It turns out that the Beast King is half human and half demon. On the night of the sacrifice, he transforms into a human form and must spend the night in darkness. However, despite his best efforts to maintain a facade, he couldn't fool a little girl. Annie rips a piece of cloth to bandage his wound. She remembers the Prime Minister saying that on the night of the sacrifice, the Beast King and the maiden are alone. No one has ever seen the Beast King's true, cannibalistic form. To convince people the sacrifice is complete, the Beast King would cut his arm and leave blood at the scene. Annie believes this is the true greatness of the Beast King. She decides not to leave, and with just a look from him, she is freed from her chains. The two embrace tightly. The next day, the Beast King announces that he will marry Annie, but the ministers unanimously oppose it. How could a noble Beast King marry a lowly human?